Just hug the wall to the south here, to the left, when you come out. And you don't even have to get your feet wet. Well, alright, a little wet, but you don't have to go under. You don't have to go to a swimming animation. For what it's worth. I love that trick. It's like Truman Show, you know, right at the edge of the studio, if you will, where it was shallow enough to walk. That's what I liken it to. Speaking of things that came out in the late 90s. Zora's River, watch out for the swift current. So we can't come through here until we have the bombs. And there's our friend. Yeah, this is the one which will, depending on how you approach this, like we're about to, he might talk to you multiple times. Ooh, looks like you've got a live bomb there, Linky. Well, that would be me. I know the sweet tune. Should I be concerned about this bomb, which is about to... Alright. It's fine. We do need a bomb, though. So bomb the... Alright. That's why we got 2 bomb upgrades already. You got a Kako over there, you'll notice. So this is the sole instance of a soil patch you can plant something in, but no Skulltula will come out from bugs. So, just so you know. There we go, our first magic beans. This guy has one heck of a marketing strategy. Every time you talk to him, he raises the price of the beans by another 10 rupees. He's got 10 magic beans to sell total. So the most expensive these will be is 100, so someone can do the fast math on how much this is ultimately going to cost us. But so we can't afford a 4th one right now. But we can go ahead and plant a magic bean right here. And patience will be rewarded, I suppose. We'll check back on that a little bit later. But so grab this Kako. And hop across. And I'm going to see if I can do this as efficiently as you pretty much can. This part frustrates me quite a bit sometimes. If you don't stick the landings, you have to go back down to the bottom and reset everything. Walk around there, you can see there is a heart piece. We'll be grabbing that with a Kako. Not this Kako. We can stop off and make some quick catch here, by the way. So drop your Kako there. And it should stay in the roughly in place. 550. Alright. So 550 total. So now play one of your existing songs, which you've already learned. Doesn't matter which one. Play Zelda's Lullaby first. And every time you play them a new song they haven't heard before, they will give you 50. So it's a lot of money. So to buy all those seeds from that guy. So every little bit will help. And putting on a private. So we're forced to do some things for money we didn't think we would have to, like playing a private concert for 5 frogs. Love the music here in Ocarina of Time. It's as good as everything else in the game, so let's get some facts about just that with Fluff.
Longtime Nintendo composer on titles like the Super Mario and Legend of Zelda series, Koji Kondo, returned in his role as composer for the music for Ocarina of Time. When the Ocarina became the game's title, Kondo decided to create the themes around simple 3-note ocarina melodies. This is effectively implemented into the game, as many of the themes in the game revolve around these prevailing and simple yet incredibly catchy 3-note hooks, like Saria's song for the Lost Woods, or Epona's song for Lon Lon Ranch. The main central theme, according to Kondo, is the Hyrule Field theme, which plays over the majority of the areas in the overworld. Knowing that players would be hearing it a lot, Kondo created it so that the theme would evolve and respond to Link's surroundings. When Link was standing still for an extended period of time, the theme became more relaxed. When enemies drew near, the theme would get more intense. Kondo's ingenuity helped keep players immersed in the game, not to mention from getting bored during long treks across all of Hyrule to deliver some eye drops to a Goron with a pituitary gland disorder.
Yeah, they're definitely NBA ready. Alright, so take the Kako and hop off to this little piece of land here that we can't get to otherwise, and then this Kako's dead to us, throw it away. It'll make its way back. If you throw it in the water and you see it go up in the air, it'll make its way back to where you first found it. But and grab the this cucko here. Be very careful when you walk across. And then be very careful not to overshoot this heart piece. Or undershoot. Just the right amount of shoot. There we go. And there you have it. Heart piece number 14. And if we could grab this one before it disappears, this will save us some time too. There we go. All right. That's as well as you can do that. All right. Just gonna take this cucko and drop it in the same spot. And I guess we're not out of the woods yet. We still need to get this back in our hands one last time. There we go. All right. So now carry this cucko back, continuing on. And the camera works a little funky here. You just have to hold up, and it rotates the terrain for you, or the camera for you. So, all right. So we want to get this other heart piece, which is behind us here. So hop over to the entrance of Zora's domain, and there we go. And we can grab this just like that. Heart piece number 15 here in Ocarina of Time. So now I am going to go ahead and dive in the water and go back to the start, just so I could buy some more of those magic beans from that guy. And then we'll make some more money coming back with those frogs. There's a 5-piece right there, 5 spot. A lot of hidden rupees in the water as you head back down, so that worked out pretty perfectly. We're just about maxed out, and I guess that cucko didn't go where I thought it would. Yeah, if you go over back in the vicinity of that owl, he'll treat you as if you hadn't talked to him yet, so let's not do that. Let's buy some more magic beans, why don't we? They're all the rage, apparently. And the description keeps changing. The popular. At first, they're not selling too well. You know, I'm your only customer. Like, shouldn't you try to take care of me? The super popular beans. His final 5 here. Alright, so he's just got 4 left. We'll come back once we got some more cash. And let's try not to... Oh, there we go. That's where that cucko ended up. I guess we threw it into the water there, and then it kind of hopped out, so onto that land. I like when you hear the cucko cry at the start of a new day and there's actually a cucko nearby. So let's play our last song, which we've learned at this point, for the frogs, and I guess that would be the Sun Song? We play the Sun Song yet? I don't believe in this context it changes night to day or day to night. It's like whatever gods respond to this are like, oh, he's just putting on a private concert. Or 5 frogs of varying sizes. Let's not change the day-night cycle. Which, if you think about it, is probably really wreaking havoc on everyone's just, I don't know, REM cycle, circadian, just everything. All their cycles are being... their rhythms, their cycles, all getting thrown out of whack. You lay down your head thinking it's, 10 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden, time to pop up and do your chores for the next day, but I digress. There is actually one gold Skulltula we can get, but it's only at night, so we do need to change it. It appears on this ladder here. There it is. And now you can see it firsthand how they appear. It's just sort of morph in or something. There you go. That is Gold Skulltula number 25. We are a quarter of the way home to our total of 100, but here we go. And now Zelda's Lullaby, similar to when we were trying to gain audience with Darunia. Or the song puts Link in stasis until the next day. Everyone just goes about their daily chores and business and everything. They're completely unaffected by it. I like that explanation a lot more. I love the music here in Zora's Domain. It's so relaxing. I believe I had the soundtrack to this game on CD by way of Nintendo Power. Again, this game came out when my Nintendo fandom was peaking in those late 90s. Show the proper respect. Alright, there's a lot we can do here in Zora's Domain. First thing we'll want to do is Zora's the proud aquatic people. So you say because of connection with Hyrule's royal family? I just know how to play the song. There's a number of unlit torches. We can get our... Oh, we're gonna need a fish here as well, actually. So let's drop our bugs. I hate to get rid of that that fairy in our back pocket. You know, there's plenty of opportunities to get more bugs, but we'll need this to gain access to the next dungeon, actually. So grab that now for free. You can buy one, but it's expensive, so... Thankfully, Jabu doesn't discriminate. He doesn't care if they're store-bought or fresh-catched. It's fish. Alright, so let's head up to the top here. And we can play the silver scale game, which is a good time. Oh, my dear sweet Princess Ruto, where is she gone? I'm so worried. So we can't actually gain access to the, he doesn't care what we play for him. Go ahead and light some Deku sticks here. Again, rolls are marginally faster than running. And you don't have to worry about them running out here when you're spreading the flames around for whatever reason. In this scenario, your flame will stay lit every time. It like relights itself basically when you hit a new torch, so. For what it's worth. And then the last two will be behind the waterfall here. Grab yourself a heart piece for your effort. A nice prize. Wasn't a lot of effort. Heck yeah. Alright, there's number 17. Or 16, excuse me. Number 16, as we just got our new heart piece there. So we've already collected 4 fresh hearts just from heart pieces. But there is a 17th around here. It's not too far. Hello. Got the Zora tunic. I like they always have their shop guard there. Doesn't matter which race of people you're dealing with, they always got some muscle on hand. Alright, so we'll come up here and play the silver scale game. And this will give us the silver scale. I don't think they call it the silver scale game, but they'll give us the silver scale if we win. And this is pretty straightforward. The diving game. Reminds me of my days taking swimming lessons at the YMCA. They would drop, you know, those dropping weighted, whatever those things were. And you had to go get them from the water. Good times. Yeah, man. It's so relaxing here. The visuals, the soundtrack, not so much the dive music, but just got to get all 5 of those rupees, and you'll notice that they'll slowly spread out as the longer you let them alone. So they give you plenty of time, though. It's not too difficult. Grabbing all 5 of these, and we make 25 bucks. I guess a 5 rupee profit. Just toss it down, man. Come on. You're really gonna make me swim all the way. Again, you can tap B to swim marginally faster in water. I think I always forgot that when I was a kid. Slash maybe never knew that, I don't know. But now, with this, we'll be able to dive under the water and get down to Lake Hylia. As I mentioned earlier, it connects, inexplicably, to the exact opposite part of the map. It could not be farther away. It's the magic of the water, I suppose. That's a great shot, too. I like it when the camera goes underwater. This is a scale of our kind. With this, you can dive much deeper. There it is, the silver scale. And this is just about cash at this point. I don't see any red ones. All right, there's one red one. We're heading down anyway, so whatever. Let's at least make our money back. And then make our way to, and you'll see now we've doubled our depth, which we can go underneath the water. Going from 3 to 6. There will be a golden skill a little bit later, but we're a ways off from that. Couple out of hearts. Alright. So dive down into that opening there. You find yourself in Lake Hylia, and if you look to your left, and Navi will point it out actually. What's that? Let's check it out. With our newfound diving prowess. All the way. Yeah, if anybody else took swimming lessons at the YMCA, you'll know that they had different levels. You started out with like guppy, and then you kind of graduated to, fish, and then flying fish, and then just more respected aquatic animals. But yeah, that was always the test to get to like the penultimate level. I had difficulty with some of the dives. But I digress. There's a note in the bottle. Alright, so that's where Ruto is. She's in Jabu's belly. That's the creature that we got the fish for. Alright, so... So actually, at this point... Let's go ahead and... We can grab ourselves another heart piece, the actual 17th heart piece, since we're nearby here. Let's stop off. It's just in this next area, back in Hyrule Field. We need to climb up this ladder here. And then drop a bomb right in the middle of this fenced-in area here. More importantly, once we show the note to her father, we'll earn ourselves... close enough. Thankfully, there's a decent proximity on that explosion. We'll earn ourselves use of the bottle, which I care a lot more about than... we get our Deku shield out here. Volley this back at this business scrub. He'll sell us a piece of heart. 1 piece, 10 rupees. That is a darn good deal. How about that? You got any more of those, by the way? I'll take 11 more, or 10 more at this point. But that is heart piece number 17 for real this time. Heart piece 17. Bought off Deku, the business scrub, right here in the outside of Lake Hylia on Hyrule Field. But now let's dive back to Zora's domain and, yeah, head to Zora Fountain, I think it's called. It's hard to not think of TLC when you're dealing with business scrubs, or Deku scrubs in general. And we can't get down there yet. We need the golden scale to dive deep enough, but... And the entrance is right below us right here, but you can see the entrance down there to the dreaded water temple, just looming, waiting for us. Yeah, right over there. taunting us. Anyway, alright, back to Zora's domain. And we'll deliver this note to her father. I'm sure he's worried sick. Love the little ambient reflections, the lighting off of the water off of the walls right there. It's a nice touch. Like a spa, Zora's domain. In a much better state than we'll find it later, but one thing at a time. Lord Jabu's apparently gone insane as he's eaten up Princess Ruto. He's been acting out. Guardian God, Lord Jabu would never eat my dear princess. I can see Ganondorf plugging up the entrance to Dodongo's cavern, but like, what is he doing to Lord Jabu that's got him out of whack? You keep the bottle, take it respectfully. There we go, there's our penultimate bottle. Nintendo knew what they were doing with this. It's snack time, good lord. In your own time. Okay, I'm not like I'm trying to rescue your daughter or anything. Alright, there we go. Better throw a bomb at him for that. Ah, water diffused it. It is a nice scooch noise. Alright. So this is Zora Fountain? Zora's Fountain? Zora's Fountain. Not sure why they call it that, but there you go. Alright, so before we give Lord Jabu the gift of a fish, and I did not mean to do that. So much for the world record. Alright, so before we give him the fish, we have a couple goodies we can get around these parts. One of them being the, come back here. Drop a bomb right here, and it'll be useful on destroying this hidden wall right here. We grab our third spell, our third as a child. Well, I guess our second spell. Strictly speaking, the sword technique was not a spell. This could be useful though for speeding up backtracking to certain dungeons in particular, so we'll use this a little bit later. Let's bring her in. Always makes a big production out of it. It's a different pan across her body every time, too. They went right to left last time. This time they were going left to right, still giving ample coverage to the bosom. Accept it now. It's Farore's Wind, I believe. Farore's Wind. Warp magic you can use with C. You'll teleport to the warp point. When you first use the magic, you will create a warp point. When you use the magic again, you can either dispel the warp point you created last time or warp to that point. There you go. The Hylian Loach is just for fun. There's nothing to be gained from it. I remember finding that lure when I was a kid in the fishing area as an adult, which we'll cover once we're an adult, but speaking of this little fish, several pounds behind. There's no loach. Alright, we'll grab some skulltulas once we get out of here, but let's go ahead and head inside Lord Jabu Jabu by offering the fish as tribute, I guess. Anything good in these spots? Lord Jabu Jabu's life savings, $1 and a bunch of Deku seeds. But just activate that fish in the bottle right out front of Lord Jabu Jabu's mouth. Nothing escapes Lord Jabu Jabu. He says, "You're coming inside." I like Professor has second thoughts. He's like, I don't know about this. It's too late. All right, so here we are inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly. It seems like you can't leave, but you can easily reverse out the teeth and head back out should you need to. Seems like you shouldn't be able to do that, but there you go. All right, so pull out the slingshot there and hit the trigger in the ceiling. Don't need these boxes just yet. That'll be for much later once we kind of come full circle here, but... Oh, there's Princess Ruto. Oh, wait. Pan to the right. There's Princess Ruto. That was easier than I thought it would be. Alright, well, let's get out of here and, Princess of the Zoras. I don't think I said anything of the sort. I don't think I've ever said anything. I have no idea what you're talking about. My father is worried about me? Typical spoiled princess. I like her little walk, though. So let's go in after her. But make sure you come in a bit more from that angle so you don't accidentally drop off the edge right there to save yourself some time. Still hanging around here. I told you to go away. Have you? But why? To hang out with all the monsters? Like, what's the appeal? Electrified jet. There's some gold skulltulas just mocking us, saying you can't get to us right now. Uvula. Yeah, there's a lot of uvula switches in here. Well, at least the one. So yes, we have the honor of carrying Princess Ruto around. You gotta be careful you don't accidentally throw her somewhere you don't mean to, or leave her behind, as eventually she'll teleport back to where you initially found her. So drop down here, and before you hit that switch, toss her up there, otherwise the water will engulf her, and you'd think her being a Zora, that wouldn't be an issue. She would just kind of swim around, but no, she goes back to where you just grabbed her, so. Just pads the time needlessly. But here we go with Gold Skulltula number 26. And go ahead and grab ourselves a backup fairy. And if you make this jump just right, you can actually, you won't have to hit that switch again. You can jump to the right ledge where we threw her to. Kind of at an angle. Trying to hit this. Right about that. And just hung a little bit more to the right. I think we would have grabbed on had we not corrected for that, but that's alright. Yeah, there's another uvula switch there in the roof of the mount. Well, I don't know if it's still a uvula. I don't know where we are at this point. We're a little deeper. That might have been something else that we don't want to expressly identify, but yeah, drop Princess Ruto down very quickly here. Don't toss her, but drop her down and then deflect that shot. Now we wait. What the heck was that sound? It's a nice shot. Ride this up. Ow, my other uvula. The one in my stomach. Yeah, I still don't get what the appeal is, but... Alright, so now if she hadn't freaked out and made such a big production earlier, we could have saved some time, but we're back on this floor. Be careful not to drop into the pits here. If you want to swing wide, play it safe. Not a bad idea, because everything's teeming around you. But pass through to this door. And... let's see. Let's go to the right first. We're gonna have to use her to weight this particular switch down. Or Yeah, together we need to... I don't know, she's just smiling, oblivious of everything that's happening. We'll need to use her to weight down a switch on the opposite side, but right now drop her down here. Yeah, I think Jabu might want to see a vet? I don't know, someone. Not even sure there's doctors in Hyrule, but I'm just saying, this ain't right. Everything he's got going on, and so you shouldn't invite people inside of you as well. Just hang out inside my belly. That's, I don't know. Don't want to tell Lord Jabu his business, but defeat last enemy in this room, and we will get ourselves very important item, if we could find the right side. A very important item, which will unlock a lot of Hyrule to us. The Boomerang. Fantastic. So now we can get those on a more immediate note. A couple of those gold skulltulas that were staring us down before. We'll need them even more immediately in the context of, I never know where I should map this stuff. I think that left C is the most comfortable. That's like my go-to, so I like to have the ocarina map to it. But now go to the opposite room down the hallway. And this is the blue switch right here. This is the one which we'll need her to hang out on for just a second. As you can see right there. They're kind of sticklers about being able to drop like a box or a princess on a switch. You need to be on it yourself first, and then drop them on. But now we use the boomerang as we just kind of circle around the parasitic tentacle here, as they're known. They won't come down unless you get a little bit closer, for what it's worth. But yeah, if you just get close enough and you keep circling, just a few easy shots from the... Yeah, I got it. Got it, Abby. We'll take it down. I'm not sure if that helped or hurt Lord Jabu, but I know it earned us a map. Alright, got the dungeon map. I don't know if Lord Jabu knows that someone took the time to chart out a map for his innards, but there you go. So someone knows what's going on in here. So Rudo's going to be a little upset, a little miffed that we left her behind, but I'm going to... Yeah, that's true. When we took out the parasitic tentacle, we gained access to this door here, so this is the correct order. And you gotta kill the shabombs within 40 seconds for some reason. Maybe these things are really bugging Lord Jabu, but yeah, some combination of sword play and boomerang play will get this done. Boomeranged. Yeah, it doesn't play like Majora. Where's the... Oh, there you are. You're trying to hide from me. Ample time once again. And someone took the time to also deposit a compass for points of interest inside Lord Jabu. There it is. Alright. So now we need to take out a couple of these tentacles to gain access to the middle area. Yeah, she's angry. If you're a man, I'm 10 years old. I'm not a man yet. Keep saying 10 years. We're roughly 10 years old. Blanking on the exact age, but... But skip that middle door, or I guess that left next door, and come down here instead. We'll take out one last tentacle, and this will gain us access to that final room in this corridor area, but same strategy. We'll let Princess Rudo see us work. This will prove to her that we're a man. At least we know our way around a boomerang, and you gotta get a little bit closer to get him to come down. Boom. Alright. So again, first glance seems like that didn't do anything, but now if we hug the right wall, that main chamber will be unlocked for us. Or there will be no weird tentacle blocking our way. Do have one more tentacle to deal with, and I want to take out the jellyfish in here before you try dealing with the parasitic tentacle. Makes it a lot smoother. Alright, so now this opened our way out, but most importantly, it got rid of the green tentacle which was in that initial chamber that she was standing in where we met her. So now we can drop through that hole and gain access to the next area, and not too much further now, honestly. So it's not this first one on the right, it's this one on the right, this next one. I like the combined scream. Alright, we're gonna put down Princess Rudo and collect our 27th gold Skulltula. Right there. And our 28th gold Skulltula in quick succession, if I was better with that boomerang. Now, somewhat speedy succession. Alright, now regular succession. Might need lessons with this thing. Alright. I love the look of the Skulltula. It's very satisfying when you get the Skulltula grabbed by that boomerang. But alright, having grabbed those two, oh, we got mini boss time. That's what I've been looking for. Throw me up there onto the platform. Alright, do as we're told. There's the third spiritual stone. You know, you're not keeping that, right? That's ours. That belongs in a museum, by which I mean the Temple of Time. My mother's stone. Oh, were you like parading it around or something? Okay. That's what he does when you feed him. Alright. Let's beat, yeah. So before we can actually get up to her... What is this, an octopus? You've been in here many times, you've never seen Big Octo? Let's get some tips on this mini-boss here in Big Octo with Gary.
Boss beater. Alright, Big Octo, it may seem a little counterproductive, but we want to take a little damage in this fight. At the start, let him hit you. This will cause him to turn around, where we can throw that boomerang, target him at his body, where he's weak, that'll stun him, and then we can do a jump attack. Repeat this process, let him hit you again, he'll turn around, quickly freeze him again with that boomerang, and then I'll give him one more jump attack. You'll take him down very quickly this way.
Very simple. Thank you very much, Gary. Good on hearts. Alright, so we can ride this up now, and hopefully she's waiting for us at the top here. No sign just yet. So the sponges here, well, it's not really the way to do it, but this works. Let's get out of the stomach acid. And I think we have just enough time. This stuns them so they become walkable. Oh, it's gonna be close. All right, I think that little knock worked out in our favor. All right, so ride this elevator up, and then this will look very familiar, or ride it down, as the case may be. And this will look very familiar all of a sudden. We've completed the missing chunk of space that was here before, or wasn't here. So now we can just cross on over and use one of these boxes for its intended purpose. I like the box, looks like it has a cross expression on its face if you look at it. Not happy to be trapped inside the belly of Lord Jabu Jabu. I don't blame it. All right, we have one final gold skull to be found in here. You might want to take out a couple of these jellyfish baddies just to make your life a little bit easier, but again, love that shot underneath the water and the filter they put on the sound there. But that is Gold Skulltula number 29 as we climb up here and hit one last uvula. How many uvulas does this make now? Is this 4? It's a complicated beast. Might need 2 vets to work on this one, but put a little distance between yourself and that wall right there so you can get that off, and there you go. All right, proper boss time. Doofy face. Alright, bioelectric, anemone, Barinade, Gary.
Boss beater. Alright, Barinade, in this first phase, pretty straightforward. Just target those appendages, throw the boomerang while you circle around, similar to that enemy we were fighting earlier. But once those give way, then you just want to target that body, throw that boomerang, and then get as many of those jump attacks and stabs in as you can. At this point, it's going to start to protect itself with its little jellyfish. You want to try to get one of those boomerangs in, target the body, keep throwing it to try to break through, stun it again, get a bunch more jump attacks and other stabs in. Once it starts doing kind of a carousel move with those jellyfish, you can throw a Deku Nut very effectively to clear them all out, make it defenseless again, to once again go ahead, stun it, get those attacks in, and then in the last phase it'll try to hit you with that lightning. Just retreat when it goes submerged underneath wherever we are in Jabu, and just dodge that lightning. But yeah, once it pops back up, stun it again with the boomerang, stab away, you'll take it down.
Good call, Gary. Thank you very much. There we go. Ew. You have to think that we just helped Lord Jabu Jabu, unless that was like his heart or something. Unless that was his heart. Alright. Speaking of hearts, if this is his heart, I don't care. We need it more than he does. Trying to save Hyrule. Alright, follow along, and we're going to go back once again to our resident fact finder, Fluff.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was meant to come out a few months earlier, but was delayed until its November 21st, 1998 release, in part because of Banjo-Kazooie of all things. The Rare-developed 3D action platformer was released on the N64 in June of that same year, and its graphics and smooth performance on the system earned it universal acclaim, including from the Legend of Zelda co-creator Shigeru Miyamoto. Miyamoto was so impressed by Banjo-Kazooie that according to a couple interviews he held around the time of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time's release, Nintendo made the decision to hold back Ocarina in order to improve upon Ocarina's graphics, textures, and frame rate performance to compete with the standard Banjo-Kazooie had set. Incidentally, and despite Ocarina of Time's near universal acclaim at the time of its November release, some reviewers still pointed out that it didn't quite reach Banjo-Kazooie's level in that regard.
How about that? That's pretty cool. I loved that game growing up, still love it, but loved it when I first got it, pretty much around the time that it came out. And yeah, it's pretty cool that Shigeru Miyamoto appreciated it, it sounds like, just as much as I did, and it drove them to make this game that much better. So, very cool. Thank you, Fluff. Receive it now. There you go. All right, 3 for 3 on the spiritual stones. Love the colors. This is the spiritual stone of water passed down by the Zoras. Her most precious possession. You don't know what she's talking about, but you finally collected all 3 spiritual stones. We're so naive. Link/Professor doesn't know anything about the ladies. Alright, so before we leave Zora's fountain, we can Let's make it nighttime with the sun song, and over here on this log we can grab ourselves another gold Skulltula. Alright, well, forgot I was going to reset our position there, but that's fine. And you can hear it right there. Alright, take this one out on the wall, the kind of southwest wall here in Zora's Fountain. Collected with the Boomerang, and that is gold Skulltula number 30. We are now eligible for another gift from the Skulltula family. We'll have to check back in, find out what that is. We may be a little underwhelmed, or maybe we'll be underwhelmed at 40. But roll into this tree and grab yourself in quick succession gold Skulltula number 31. Also here now in the southeast corner of Zora's Fountain. Alright, so now that Ruto is safe, we've got the final spiritual stone. We are ready to travel to the future. Not back to the future for the first time. But before we do that, you know that we're gonna have some fun with our Boomerang and grab some fun collectibles. Let's check back in with Ruto. I mean, I just got it, lady. Give me a time. Hyrule wasn't saved in a day. Oh, Professor, so you saved the princess. I really appreciate it. Not enough to give me something else, but that's cool. That's fine. Don't try making this dive, by the way, when you're when you're an adult when you first get here. If you're not familiar, for those who get the reference, but you'll see. All right, so let's head back to Lake Hylia. We can grab ourselves another gold Skulltula. We pointed this one out actually earlier, but we lacked the Boomerang with which to retrieve it. All right, around the side of the building. Toss it. Toss it again. Yeah, fishing is efficient. There we go. Gold Skulltula in our pants. That is number 32 overall. And while we're here, let's go ahead and plant the bean. That will be useful for actually accessing the fishing spot later on, once we get here as an adult, as we will be unable to reach the adult fishing spot. Yeah, we did the fishing as a kid earlier, but yeah, we'll do it as an adult later on, and that'll be more of a challenge. They definitely, like most things in this game, they up the challenge in the fishing game once you become an adult. Did catch ourselves a 10-pounder though. See if we can't top ourselves. I like when we go back as an adult, the owner, he admits we're his only customer. It's like, dude, you're not gonna, you've made $20 in 7 years. Like, maybe it's time to get into another line of work. Maybe veterinary or a doctor. I think we established there's no doctor in Hyrule as far as I know. But anyway, like I said, more stuff to get. This one, that will not catch up to us. This will require Din's Fire, actually, and a bomb. Two things which we did not have access to before, so let's knock it out now that we're back here on Hyrule Field. So hang a right here. And... or right over here, excuse me, through this ring of rocks. And we're gonna drop a bomb here. And then burn us up some... That's Shadow. Is that our owl friend? Never noticed that. You hear a cow? I do too. Immediately equip Din's fire, you can clear out all of the spider webs. And there's a cow trapped down. I'm not sure how they get the cows in some of the places they do in this game. Like when we become an adult, and if you do right by Malin, they'll deliver a cow to your Kokiri house. How do they get it up the ladder? Might as well grab a bug, though, while we're down here. I'll take that over the milk, but more importantly, I will take the gold Skulltula number 33 by way of the Boomerang. All right. Again, if you need some, you're right down here. Can't imagine there's much grass. If you need some milk, that's your cow. All right. Pointed this one out as well. We can grab the one on the bridge now that we've got the Boomerang. Halfway across the bridge, and it's got to be nighttime, so why do I ever not have the ocarina in the top left spot in that left C? It's just asking for adding a couple seconds onto this. Put Sun Song, and if it's daytime, get your Boomerang out. All right, got me on the return trip there. And here we are at the start of Gerudo Valley, just above this waterfall at night with the Boomerang. And grab gold Skulltula number 34. All right, let's head to Lon Lon Ranch and grab the one that's was on that window. Also needs to be at night. You like how they open up a little bit more of the game every time you get something new. Bombs, Boomerang, Hookshot later on. Different stuff. Almost as if by design. Is that your tree? Sorry about that, you didn't appreciate that. We are on the wrong side of it here. Yeah, this is definitely the School for Gifted Hylians, as this is all taking place for Young Link. This is the fast track to getting everything as soon as possible, so we could certainly spin this as the 3D version of the School for Gifted Hylians. Yeah, it's alright, we'll have to go in stasis mode again. Yeah, we need the bunny hat with the application that it has in, I guess, Majora's. Couple rupees. I think there's one that a gold Skulltula at the start of Lake Hylia as well that you get from a tree that I neglected to grab, so we need to go back and grab that. But right here in Lon Lon Ranch at night with the Boomerang, that's us. Gold Skulltula. If I could hit it. Talon and Malin have to be like, what the heck is that sound out there? Well, Talon at least. I think Malin's just out there singing. That is gold Skulltula number 35. And let's hang her right here. No, I guess she's not. There's dangerous birds flying about, but yes, in the southwest corner of Lon Lon Ranch at night. There it is. Couple boomerangs. And one more to collect. And there is number 36. Gold Skulltula here in the southwest corner of Lon Lon Ranch. Alright. Well, at this point, let's, since we're gonna head back to Kakariko, we're doing all kind of like the before we time travel stuff. Let's do the mask quest. The mask delivery side quest here. And we'll grab some more gold skulltulas and some good stuff while we're knocking this stuff out on top of it. So let's be productive. And we'll note the color of the sky goes from night to ominous very quickly here. Yeah, see that? Day or night, it will become very overcast here. As it was that the owl flying over? But get close enough, and we'll be treated to what we saw in the intro. And we're thinking they never open the drawbridge at night, right? Someone getting like a food delivery or something? What's going on? Watch out, Professor. It's a cool horse. I don't think we ever saw that horse. By the way, can we talk about what a heck of a throw that was from Princess Zelda? 10-year-old kid throws like John Elway. He's got the arm of John Elway. And that, specifically in that commercial where he throws that football over those mountains or whatever it was, but I digress. Lost her. I think we showed that commercial. I don't remember the context, but one of our Video Games 101 classes. Fly. Lon Lon Ranch, or Zora's Domain, or I don't know. I think it went down into that hole with the cow. Heck yeah, Link. He's brave, but he's Ganondorf pulls out some nondescript magic beam here. Didn't kill us, though. In fact, I don't think it took any hearts away from us. I like that. You want a piece of me? No, Ganondorf. I want the whole thing. Little Happy Gilmore there. Well, I don't know what that was about, but let's see what Princess Zelda... That's a nice shot right there. That's thumbnail shot. Alright, let's see what she chucked into the moat here. What do you think, Nabby? What is that? Ooh, it's an upgrade. It's a better ocarina. This one's blue, everybody. Say goodbye to our original ocarina. It's also sharper. It's a bit more pointy at the top, but it's got a little light cream-colored trim. It's nice. It's an upgrade. Professor, can you hear me? It's Zelda. It's not the right voice for her, but that's alright. When you hold this ocarina in your hand, I won't be around anymore. I wanted to wait for you, but I couldn't delay any longer. At least I could leave you the ocarina. No one can help themselves when they're holding an ocarina. You just gotta rock out a little bit. Let's sway. Alright, right A down, right A down. You got it, Bob. Alright, I understand we have another time-sensitive and relevant fact from Fluff. What do you got?
In a cool little detail, after witnessing Princess Zelda flee with Impa on horseback and being pursued by Ganondorf, if players go to the back alley in Hyrule Castle Town, they'll find a wounded soldier who will tell you how Ganondorf betrayed the king and how he was injured fighting Ganondorf's men so that Zelda and Impa could flee. Sadly, if you attempt to talk to him again, the game will inform you that he has died. Again, a very cool little detail. Unless you're that soldier.
There you go. Thank you very much, Fluff. That is, yeah, yet another thing which I think I missed out on as a kid. Just don't think to check back in there at that point in the game, but there you go. Professor's like, wow, Zelda might be dead, but $20. Let's head inside. And head to the mask shop, the happy mask shop, excuse me. If we deliver all these masks, our life might become happier. That's a good tune, too. I was good about that one as we're passing through. This guy is really happy. He got some kind of plastic surgery. He can't really move anything in his face, but it's not a bad position to be stuck in, I suppose. Very welcoming, in a creepy kind of way. After you've sold all the masks, you'll become happy yourself. Have faith. I know it's not Pikachu, but it looks a lot like Pikachu. Keaton mask. Wear it to show it off. You'll be a popular guy with this mask on. I don't know, Mito will still give me crap. Alright, so we're officially beginning the mask side quest here. These people didn't respond any differently. So different people will respond differently depending on what mask you're wearing sometimes. It can make for some humorous situations, but again, 12-hour limit from YouTube, so we won't be going across the map just to be like, look at me in this map. Mask, excuse me. Or wear a map, that's fine too. Alright, let's jet over to Kakariko Village, where, actually we can stop off here, drop a bomb by this tree, and let's put it in the right seeds. We can keep that mask queued up. We grab ourselves a gold Skulltula down here, bombing in the northeast quadrant of the map. Take out the Skulltula here, and then you'll hear the... We gotta go deep into our bag of tricks here. But right up here is Gold Skulltula number 37. Unfortunately, we don't have 40 for our return trip to Kakariko Village, but that's 37 right there. No one didn't call it the Pikachu mask back today, that is true. I definitely called it the Pikachu mask. Coming out around the same time as Pokemon Red and Blue. And the animated series, which I was a big fan of, at least that first series back in the day. So back in Kakariko, let's stop in the Skulltula house, and actually, at 30 we're gonna get something good. It's 40 when we get the bomb chews that we already have. So that's the first guy, that's the second guy, here's the third guy. The curse has been broken, thank you, here's a reward for you. Oh yeah, it's a giant's wallet. What a huge wallet. Now I can just dunk on all the adults that can only carry a puny 200 gold. Makes that other brother that gave me the 200 adult wallet look pretty feeble by comparison. All right, so now that we have a bigger cap, there's some hidden rupees in the floor here. So brandish your bomb and drop it right about there. Oh, that's dead on. That's pretty good. That was from memory. All right, so we got some re-deads here, which we'll need to deal with. You guys care about that? No? It's like I'd rather get spooked a couple times than have to play the song of the Sun Song. Oh yeah. Jump attacks are so good. Yes, the giant wallet capping at 500. and but kill this Re-Dead in the hole beneath Kakariko Village, both of them. And grab yourself, I think this is our first gold rupee. A huge rupee, excuse me, worth 200 smackaroons. I love that sound. Just keep going. Triple threes. Is that lucky? I don't know. Alright, so with a bunch of cash in our hand, in our pocket, well, I'm gonna say we gotta go buy some more seeds, or magic beans, excuse me, but let's do a bit more mask stuff. Alright, so the Keaton mask. Pull this out for this guy who wants it for his kid in the Kakariko Village. Mr. Hero. I guess the green outfit kind of gives it away. I heard he's very popular recently. He's my boy's favorite, that key something mask. If you don't mind, will you sell it to me? Sure. No way. My boy will be really happy with this. Thank you, Mr. Hero. So we made a 5 rupee profit. Not too shabby. Alright, you know what, since we're next door, let's pop into, the Dongo's Cavern and grab that, gold Skulltula that's at the top of the stairs that I mentioned we could not get before. We also need the Boomerang, so that's why we waited, in part. So, to get this, you need to take the lift up. It's not really a shortcut, but... And I recommend making a little fast travel point here so we can exit this place quickly. But, yeah, we gotta wait for this elevator to come back down now, but... Yeah, you can't go the normal way because the only way to get up there is to bomb the stair and turn them into stairs, which would negate the whole point. So, instead, let's ride this up. And we'll swing around and try to kind of go in the back way. It's not ideal, but... And we could put this one off until later, till we gotta come back here again once we have the hookshot, but whatever. I want to pass through and go to the Goron City to grab some other stuff as well, so. Once again, just push the Armo statue out of the way, and might want to go back to our Hylian shield so we don't have to worry about the Deku shield getting burned up, even though, as we know, there is the freebie right there, but we're not trying to spend any more time here than we need to. Alright, so on the opposite side, which the platform will only be there if we haven't knocked it down. Climb up these vines here. And here we are. Gold Skulltula, number 38 here in Dodongo's Cavern. Had to come in the funky back way to get there, but that's 38. And now we can go ahead and use Farore's Wind to get us out of here, back to the entrance, save ourselves some time. And now let's head out of here. Alright, so let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go into Death Mountain, but we need to make sure that we've got some bugs to head in there, and as I think we're maybe lacking in that department at the moment. We can also make some money in Goron City, in an area we have not yet been to. I guess we do have bugs, but let's get the money just the same. And another gold Skulltula. No, let's get more stuff. Let's 100% Ocarina of Time. Abby never appreciated the completionist runs. Alright, so hang a left here at the start, and you can see it's blocked off with some bombable rocks. I guess you could walk across the little tightrope there, but there's more rocks up ahead barring the way to where we ultimately want to go. Yeah, we need a From Software Zelda game. Make everyone hate the franchise. So I think it's the right one. You go to the left, you see one of these bronze kind of colored rocks, which you need the hammer for, which we can't. Navi's more of a speedrunner, that would make sense. It's like, ugh, you don't need all those hard pieces. You definitely don't need all those skulltulas, especially after 50. Yeah, after 50, it's... You don't get any more prizes after 50 until you get to 100, so you really got to be committed. So we get $100 for bombing in the bag here. Very excitingly, we get Gold Skulltula number 39 right here in Goron City. There's some bugs if you need them underneath that stone. I think we're good on the bugs right now, though. So let's go ahead and climb up Death Mountain and just grab ourselves our 40th Skulltula, so that's something, even though, like I just said, there's no point in getting more bomb chews, but that's what they would offer us back at the House of Skulltula. But there's also a heart piece there, so yeah, let's go ahead and grab that since we're in the vicinity, and then we can have our owl buddy transport us back down to Kakariko. And just to confirm, there's nothing underneath this one. I mean, $5. $5 is $5. I'm not. Professor's not going to say no to that, but there you go. And once again, you'll be treated to little fire rain. And once again, we're going to largely ignore it. We're about to get a heart piece, so don't sweat any damage you're taking here. And a couple Skulltulas guarding the peak. Once again. The ascent to the peak, I should say. And there's gonna be a timer once we head inside Death Mountain Crater, because it's so hot. Just to remind you, it's very hot there. And we're wearing the green tunic. And as long as the Skulltulas aren't facing you, they won't glow and start charging at you. We haven't really had one become a problem for us just yet. Yeah, did anyone else ever try to play, yeah, we'll catch that right in a second, played, like, well-known melodies on their ocarina? Rainbow Connection and the like. So it's showing... Alright, so first off, there's Gold Skulltula number 40, so we can earn ourselves some useless bomb chews back in Kakariko Village. But, so there's the timer going once we come in here. But... And I think we can do this if we're fast enough without even having to worry about this. But if you just drop into the lava, it resets the timer. More than resets it. It gives you over a minute, actually. But for our purposes, we want to climb down this stone wall. And in this opening right here, we have heart piece number 18. How about that? And as you will see if you hop off, 5 seconds, 4, 3... Do we even lose any health for this? We lost 1 heart. But I'll take it. Reset the timer. Give yourself plenty of time to operate there. But let's talk to our owl buddy, Owlber. It's Owl Uber to get us down to Kakariko Village. Which I still am not convinced this is faster with the meal that he makes out of this trip every time. We can't click through this in case you were wondering. Didn't mind it the first time, but come on now. Alright, so we already got the heart piece from Impa's house by dropping off the side there. Pop in here and redeem our 40. We can at least see the guy who transformed here on the left. Very excited. Curse has been broken. Here's a reward for you. I already had some of these, but that's cool. Again, won't need these till late in the game anyway, but there you go. I guess if you run out of bombs, bomb chews. Pretty sure that was the ad slogan for bomb chews. Out of bombs? Try a bomb chew. They're not as good, but they're useful in a couple very specific situations, but beyond that. Alright, let's go ahead back to Hyrule Castletown and pay for the Keaton mask, which we sold to that guard guy for his son. Even though I'm pretty sure every time we walk by there, he's still wearing the mask. I'm like, are you going to give that to your son at some point? Oh well. Who am I to tell that man how to parent? I don't think he ever gets off his shift, so not much he can do about that. His son would have to visit him at work. It'd have to be a not even take your son to work day. Just show up at your dad's place of business, but anyway, back in Hyrule Castletown, which I believe was referred to the market, excuse me. I think it was called downtown, this area, in like a prototype of the game. Useless facts, you know? It's not fluff good, but I'm good for a couple. And you'll see, now that we sold that first Keaton mask, or the only Keaton mask, we can now grab the Skull Mask. Very exciting. Show it off. You feel like a monster while you wear this mask. Alright. The Skull Mask. I think I have an idea of who might appreciate the Skull Mask. And this journey will take us back to the Kokiri Forest. But en route, since we have 463 rupees burning a hole in our giant wallet, let's stop off. Maybe speed this up. Let's stop off back at Zora's River here, and just buy him out of his seats. I think we've got enough money left over to for what are we on right now? 6 or 7? I think he's got 4 more, so 70 plus 80, 150, 240, 340. We're gonna spend. We're gonna drop. So if my maths are correct, 123 remaining on the counter after we buy him out of his special beans, excuse me. Super price. 2 more magic beans. They aren't cheap, but do you still want them? Can't you though? Did I say 123? I don't know. Yes. You would think, like, with us not having visited him in a while, he might knock the price down a little bit, but as soon as he saw us turning the corner, he was like, this guy. Here's that sucker. Those beans are not for sale, the ones he's eating. Alright. So I completely skipped by this before, but hit this tree here on the right. And you will find, I guess, at this point, for our purposes, Gold Skulltula number 41. There you go. And we got all the beans, so in case you were wondering, there are 10 of those soft soil spots where we can... And now we're gonna motor our way back down to the Kokiri village here. There are 10 of those soft soil areas to put those magic beans in, and there are 10 magic beans. So in case you were worried like I was as a child, terrified that you might accidentally use more than that guy was selling or more than you had. I mean, you might use more than you have, but Yeah, there's the same number of holes to put the beans in as there are beans to be bought, for what it's worth. So back in the Lost Woods, let's go ahead and use our bugs. Let's go to the forest stage. Let's go right, left, right, and then left, and then another left. This will take us to the outside of the forest stage. And to the right, there is one of those soft soil spots. And we can bug this as well, actually. Bug it. There you go. Someone's gonna go in, right? You gonna go in? They didn't take that time. Oh, he's trying to get there. He just gave up. All right, well, thankfully again. I could buy these bugs multiplying over time, but every time they go back in the bottle, I'm gonna wait for one to start going in there, and then, oh, that's not good. They all went in there. Well, anyway, there's Gold Skulltula number 42. And we can also plant one of our beans in there, if we like. There you go. That'll be necessary later for something, but there's a hidden entrance to the forest stage. It's right around those butterflies, I guess. Drop down and don the skull mask for a little additional treat down here. We got an audience. They love it. They love the skull mask. Look at that. I'm like, all right, guys. It's very cute. So many scrubs. All right, so talk to the HSIC, the head scrub in charge here. All the young Deku Scrub brothers agree. You look exactly like our sacred forest totem. As an offering from us, please accept these Deku sticks. We will also enhance your carrying skills. There you go. There's the Deku stick upgrade from the forest stage by wearing the skull mask. So make sure you do that before you go ahead and sell the skull mask. Although that said, you can always go back to the shop later and grab all the masks again, so it's not like you can miss out on anything. Worth mentioning. But now, from there, we're gonna exit out to the left from that area, and I think we're gonna go left one more time from here. And there's another rock, and this one will give us an upgrade by way of some business scrubs. So we'll need that Deku shield again. There he is. Forget which of these guys is gonna give us the upgrade. Is it you? There you go. More nuts. Yeah, we still got some cash, so go ahead. We're about to make a lot of money, in case you're wondering, by way of this mask side quest, so you'll just sell you seeds. Yeah, these aren't just a refill, not an upgrade. All right. Well, now that we got our upgrade, let's go find Skull Kid. So let's just go back to the start. And every time I want to find an exit, I actually can't. So back at the start, go back into the Lost Woods, make a left, make another left. Or just one left, and here he is. Hop up here. This is where he meets with people. Pop on the skull mask. And chat with him, and he loves it, not surprisingly. Again, this guy plays a big role in Majora's Mask, which we did a playthrough on Let's Play with Brigands on few years ago. I think that was a request, actually. That's a good game, too. A very good game. It's not as tight as this game, if you ask me, but still very enjoyable. Good thing we got plenty of cash, but this is a classic example of paying it forward, as if you see through. Now that we've given our... Let's plant a magic seed while we're here. Sold out! If you see through the mask quest after we just gave Skull Kid that mask for free, essentially, then you will be handsomely rewarded for dealing the final mask. And Majora's Mask is loosey-goosey in the best way, like a sloppy Joe. Wonderful way of putting it. Any Sloppy Joe fans out there. And I don't think we actually planted the seed. I think we did the bugs in the soft soil outside of the item shop before. There we go. And while we're here, mention this what seems like a very long time ago now, but we can just pop back into the Great Deku Tree, or what's left in the husk of the Great Deku Tree, and grab ourselves that Skulltula, which we were unable to get before because we didn't have the bombs. So let's do that. Once again, recommend using the Farore's Wind here at the entrance. Save yourself some time from having to climb back up. Alright, so we got our warp point. Let's drop down. Okay. That's a new one on me. Didn't kill us. But climb up here in case you forgot. Go through this little opening here in the wall that we entered through earlier. And I think we already burned away the web. So, past professor helping out future professor, which is very apt for Ocarina of Time, actually. But now we just need to bomb our way through. While we're here, we should kick Mito in the shin. We should use Din's Fire on Mito. Kind of like I think the fairy was guiding us to do. Still feel a little weird about that, but... Alright, right here in the Great Deku Tree, the one we couldn't get earlier, needed the bombs for. This is Gold Skulltula number 43. And now let's warp out of here. Efficient, much faster than Dodongo's Cavern. Alright, so now let's head back to let's actually head, I guess, we'll stop off at Kakariko before we grab the next mask. Or rather, we'll get the next mask and then head to Kakariko, because the kid that wants it is there. And believe it or not, he's going to pay full price for that mask. So, let's speed it up here. Just as the gates are opening. That's always nice for a change. It's not a bad idea. I might do a onboard. Cool. But let's grab that spooky mask. We go from the skull mask to the spooky mask. They're both kind of spooky. Back in the mask shop. And remember, this one's coming out of our giant wallet entirely. But the kid didn't pay me anything. That's not this guy's problem, but it works both ways, as you'll see later. He doesn't care what you lose or make. He just wants his money. And that's going to be very important once we sell the mask after this, actually. It's kind of ridiculous. We'll have no need for money for the rest of the game, honestly, after that, but... Alright, back to Kakariko. Can I get a straight shot right here? It's too good to pass up. Edit accordingly. And we'll stop off at the graveyard to deliver this mask to the kid. I guess we didn't deal with this kid earlier, but if you try messing with any of the graves during the daytime, this kid polices more strictly than Dampé does, surprisingly. You think he was in charge here, but that's just a testament to how much he loves and respects Dampé and wants to be him when he grows up for some reason. But let's go ahead and plant our magic bean here in the graveyard. This will allow us to fly up there and I think get a heart piece later. Either a heart piece or a gold skulltula. It all runs together at a certain point when you have 100 gold skulltulas to find, but we're gonna give this kid in the graveyard the spooky mask. With this mask, I'll be just like Dampé. Here's my money. You sold the 30 rupee mask to a kid for full price, and he didn't mind paying at all. He loved it. Oh, I love the descriptions sometimes in this game. They make me so happy. All right. Before we leave, go ahead and make it nighttime, as there is a gold skulltula we could not get before. Need the boomerang. I always forget that it resets me in certain areas. Like if you're not somewhere where time is moving, it will reset the your position to turn it back to midnight or whatever time. Whiff. Come on, Professor. That felt good. I don't know. All right. Split the difference. Kid definitely has Charlie Brown syndrome. And there it is. Here in the... Oh, that's another great still. I'm sorry. That is Gold Skulltula 44 here in the graveyard. At night, by way of the boomerang here in Ocarina of Time. Alright, we planted the seed. We got the Gold Skulltula. Let's warp our way out of here. We gave the kid the mask. And again, because so many things run together, I forgot to plant this seed outside of Dongo's cavern, so let's knock that out real quick. Especially quick. It's kind of the side quest of the side quests. Can we get this entire... just soup to nuts, start to finish, Ocarina of Time in 12 hours. Within the YouTube limit. Editing accordingly. Alright. So this next mask is the one we've all been waiting for. I've certainly been waiting for. If you want to burn all your money on whatever purchases you want to make, there's not much to buy, honestly, but if you haven't bought all your magic seeds yet, go ahead and do it, as many as you can possibly buy, because we are about to get paid. There's no other way to say it. We are going to get handsomely rewarded for essentially completing this this mask quest. Yeah, the kid paid full price and he didn't even mind at all. So the bunny hood is our final mask that we need to move. After this, it's going to be all gravy. There's going to be 4 additional masks, but it's just for fun. I don't know why I said it like that. It's not for money. But pop it on. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us wheels like I think it did in Majora's Mask, but it might give this other guy wheels. So, speaking of this other guy, let's head outside here. And if you head... Let's use the Sunsong right about here to make it nighttime. We want it to be nighttime, or just turning nighttime. And if you look right on that horizon, keep your eyes trained on the path. Right just to the left of the center of the screen, and you can kind of see that guy. You see a figure in the distance walking over. I think this is a cool detail that they have this in real time. He hits the same path every day. This jogger here. But he stops off for a break, a little rest here in the same spot every single day. And for some reason, he absolutely is about to go bonkers when we show him this mask. I bet with those long ears you can hear the voices. Oh, these are genuine rabbit ears from the animal of legend. I don't care how expensive it is. Please sell it to me. My long-time dream returning to the wildlife. Finally, the actor, stage, and prop have been united. It's a 50 rupee mask, but he paid you a crazy amount of money for it. More money than you can count. Go back to the mask shop and pay back the mask owner. That is absolute madness. I'm just going to soak this in for a minute. Whew. Kind of makes you wish we had something above the giant wallet. Good lord. So we are maxed out at 500 rupees now. And we can now get ourselves the Mask of Truth. If we take it back to the mask shop owner. And that will allow us to, and let's go ahead and plant this while we're over here, actually. Like dropping down, just free falling. Tom Petty style with the cuckoo. From that great height. Alright, let's plant this right here. And then motor on back. Back to the castle, back to the market. Perfect timing just about once again. Whew. I'm still reeling from getting paid 500 bucks for that stupid mask. The guy has no idea. We could just check another one out from this place for 50 bucks, I guess. That's a considerable profit. That is like 10 times what it's worth, but who am I to tell that man not to give me 500 rupees? So yeah, make sure your wallet's empty before you do that. And again, really the only thing worth purchasing is those seeds from that guy, or the beans from that guy, so. Alright, Bunny Hood, paid off. And that concludes the mask quest, at least the selling portion. But he's going to give us a special mask, the Mask of Truth, which makes an appearance, as a lot of these do, in Majora's Mask. But now we can see into other people's minds. It's useful, but scary. Why is it scary? Because you find out that adults have problems. Scary problems, to quote Milhouse. More importantly, we have the Mask of Truth, which we can now take... Sorry, 2 additional masks. The Zora's mask and the Gerudo mask. Which you can wear for different people, and it's just, they have entertaining outcomes. Nothing that you need quest-wise. We're not going to earn anything from them, but the Mask of Truth will keep on us for the remainder of the game, and immediately we can use it back at the Lost Woods. So let's jet on back there. And jet on through here. And we're headed back to the forest stage. Which was right, left, left. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Alright, right. Left. Right. Left and a left, yeah, okay. And there's the exit, or the fast travel point to outside Zora's domain, that little water area there, which you can dive under with the silver. Again, around the butterflies. I think we're just missing it. Come on now. I mean, they do move, but initially, that initial spot, there it is. Alright, so this time, wear the Mask of Truth. What do you think? They like it. They're not as juiced about it as they were the skull mask, but this you have a horrible face. But don't worry, we'll take pity on you with extra Deku Nuts. So we get an upgrade with Deku Nuts by wearing the Mask of Truth here in the forest stage. That's the last mask which we can get any kind of... Yeah, we are. A sight to behold. We are ready for Mardi Gras with this one. We can wear other masks down here. Different masks will garner an array of 0 reactions to... they'll attack you in some cases, depending on the masks, so for what that's worth. Alright, I think the only seeds that we have left to plant might be in places which we can't reach. So, only thing left to do is finally go to the Temple of Time. Almost 5 hours later. But we knocked out, that's pretty much everything you could do at this point in the game as Child Link. So, efficient. We have just under half the gold Skulltulas. Got a whole mess of the various heart pieces, looking good in the heart department, so feeling pretty good. So finally here in the Temple of Time, where we'll insert the 3 spiritual stones which we've collected over our journeys. There are 3 hollows and an inscription here. He who owns the 3 spiritual stones can play the song. That's how it reads. Alright, good to know. Let's go ahead and play the Song of Time. I do not remember the Song of Time. Nope. Those first 2 notes were right, I think. If you've got decent pitch, you can, pick it out from the background chants. That always makes it easy. There we go. Makes me want some fruit snacks for some reason. Lovely. The colors, Duke. The colors. Oh, yeah. Let's see what we unlocked. The coveted Master Sword. The Blade of Myth. Although, somewhat anticlimactically, not the best sword in the game. Same as Link to the Past. Gotta get it all tempered up in that game, but... we just straight up replace it in this game. With something a Goron with a pituitary disorder, gland disorder, rigs up for us, but that's a whole nother side quest. Right now, let's travel through time. Uh-oh. Should we have not pulled the Blade of Myth out? Man, how many games do we do the bad guy's bidding without realizing it? Yeah, we did bring all those together for him. Our bad? Man, kind of feel like we were being used. It's no bald bull laugh. No Soda Popinski laugh, but... or Mr. X laugh, even. They've used that laugh a lot. Pretty. Get out of my bedroom. Oh, Raru, one of the ancient sages. Ages ago, we ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the entrance to the sacred realm. This is the Chamber of Sages, inside the Temple of Light. The Light Temple, situated in the very center of the sacred realm, is the last stronghold against Ganondorf's evil forces. The Master Sword, the evil destroying sword that you pulled out of the pedestal of time, was the final key to the sacred realm. Professor, you screwed up royally. Oh yeah, don't... This will be a bit of a shock. Sweet. We're all grown up. Our shield actually is appropriately sized this time. Yeah. How about that? Is there anything else going on in the Sacred Realm? It just seems like it's this. Guys got laser tag or anything? Or a Taco Bell? And we were too young to be the hero of time back then. So we sealed you here for 7 years, and now that you're old enough, time has come for you to awaken as the hero of time. Sure, but remember that you opened the door of time in the name of peace. Whole bunch of bad actors rushed in. Yeah, that's kind of rough. We couldn't lock up behind ourselves before we came out here? I guess not. Yeah. Evil power radiates from the temples of Hyrule, and in 7 short years, yeah, he turned into a nasty Atlantic City, or whatever the line was. But there's still hope. The power of the sages remains. When the power of all the sages is awakened, the sages' seals will contain all the evil power in the void of the realm. So basically, we're 1/6 of the way to beating the game, based on all the work we did already. But not really. I'm not saying this game is 30 hours long. We have 5 more sages to awaken. Probably about 1/3 the way through. A little bit more. Somewhere between a 1/3 and a half. Pretty. I like the fire medallion. Looks like the Rogue Squadron emblem. But I digress. Find the other sages and save Hyrule. Alright, 7 years later? I suppose, unless this is just some elaborate prank on Link. Nah, we look 7 years older. We're not 10 anymore. Professor, we're back in the Temple of Time. But if 7 years really passed, there's McDongos springing up everywhere. I never understood that. All of a sudden, you turn 17 or 16, you don't know how to throw a boomerang anymore. Anyway. Alright. Hello? Were you standing... What? This is Misty. Yeah, it's your first reaction, right? I've been waiting for you, hero of time. When evil rules all, an awakening voice from the sacred realm will call those destined to be sages who dwell in the 5 temples. One in the forest, one on a high mountain, one under a vast lake, one with the House of the Dead and the Goddess of the Sand. Together with the hero of time, the awakened ones will bind the evil and return the light of peace to the world. This is the legend of the temples passed down by my people, the Sheikah. And I'm Sheik. Is everyone named Sheik, like Mark Lark on your... where you come from? Heck yeah, we just got this thing. We haven't got to draw blood with it yet. If you believe the legend, you have no choice. If I don't, am I free to just spend the rest of this this time in the fishing hole with that guy? I don't think he's had any other patrons since we've been there, actually. Yeah, we'll go to the Forest Temple first. Strictly speaking, I don't know that we need to, but we're going to do these in order. But if you believe what I'm saying, you should head to Kakariko Village. We do need to get the Hookshot before we can get into the Forest Temple. Alright. Well, you have anything else to say? Just tell me to go to the forest temple. Another skill. Head to Kakariko Village. Need like a super cucko. Yeah, I like the backflip. Getting used to the moveset as an adult here. We got a much bigger swing on the spin right there. Spin attack. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna get my horse out of the parking garage, where we've had it locked up for the last 7 years. That doesn't look good. So things have changed a little bit. Still got those guys. Midnight. Funny how that works. Or is it noon, actually? It's hard to tell in this world. Redeads everywhere. I don't remember this many redeads in the market before, but... yeah, let's head first to Lon Lon Ranch, see how things have changed there, see if Fake Me Out Mario and Luigi are still hanging out, cutting it up, having a good time. Can't get my 20 rupees anymore, that's a bummer. Someone figured that out. They realized someone's been getting rid. Oh yeah, there's Poes everywhere in the field now. We'll put that off for a little bit, as long as we can. As much as I'd love defeating them all and getting ourselves the fourth bottle. Yeah, I think we valeted Epona 7 years ago. It's time to... yeah, everywhere that's just been affected by the general evilness has a shadow over top of it. Very overcast, and until you get inside. It's just the outside for some reason. Let's pop in here. Ingo was in here before. Oh, now Malin's hanging out. Oh, and she's all grown up just like us. There's no reason for her to remember us. It's been 7 years. But then again, there's only 100 people in this game, as I think we've established. Mr. Ingo's just using the ranch to gain Ganondorf's favor. Ooh. Everyone seems to be turning evil. And they just kicked out Talon, aka Fake Me Out Mario. Nothing I can do. We'll see if there's something that I can do. I'm new in town. Like that little pose Link strikes when he's listening to people as an adult. Alright, well let's find Ingo at least. Here he is. Yeah, the place doesn't seem too evil. There's some people in Kakariko spreading rumors that I'd cheat at Talon out of the ranch. But don't be ridiculous, that guy was weak. Poured so much energy into this place. I'm a little conflicted because, like, he did work and it seemed like Talon never worked, but also he's evil, so he deserved more recognition. Maybe a raise, but don't kick out the owner and just be evil. I will ride a horse, maybe not your horse necessarily. I think I'm good, man. I may have forgotten how to throw a boomerang, but I did not forget how to do something I never learned how to do, come to think of it. Hey, there's Epona, all grown up just like us. Let's play the Epona song here. Feels apt. Let's not do the Song of Storms right now. I don't think we have that yet, but we'll get that later. But you play that song, and Epona comes over to us. So let's hop on and see the carrot system here. Love the carrot system. It's our stamina. Replenishes over time. You can make back your money you paid to Mr. Ingo by hopping over these gates. I think we made 10 bucks just now. All right. So once you've gotten a feel for the horse riding mechanic, we can actually target people on the horse. Have I been a jerk to you in the past? It's usually a safe assumption, but... yeah, how do you think I'm talking to you right now? Yeah, I'm done. So we'll reset this with him again. So let's take him up on that offer again. I think he just wants to make 20 bucks ultimately, but... alright, so we'll... somehow, a little concernedly, Epona seems to have forgotten about us already. If you just run up to her, she'll walk away from you, but if you play the song again... oh wait, trash horse, where's Epona? There we go. Alright, so hop on this time, and now when we talk to Mr. Ingo, he'll say, looks like we're starting to get the hang of it. Well, you've gotten on a horse twice. I think you're ready for a race. 50 rupees. Sounds good. I got, my giant wallet's overflowing. Alright, once again, repurposed from his normal role, let's get some tips on winning these horse races with Blaze.
Alright, here's my horse racing guide for ensuring that you take down Ingo here in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. First, you want to use your carrots early to overtake Ingo, and then kind of block him out. You want to stay inside without touching that fence. That'll slow you down, but definitely make use of that inside track there. Ingo, thankfully, swings wide for whatever reason. You grew up around horses, you'd think you'd know, but you want to use your carrots slowly and in rhythm as necessary. You don't want to burn out. You definitely don't want to use your final carrot, as there is a massive delay before you get those carrots back. So, tap one, tap another one, but let one replenish before you go ahead and use another one. Otherwise, just, box out Ingo while your carrots replenish. The boxing out strategy works very well. That's why we want to stay ahead of him at the start of the race. And then, just burn those carrots. It's one lap. As you're coming around, you see that finish line. Go through all your carrots. That is the one exception to the never use your final carrot rule.
Thank you, Blaze. Excellent tips there. Just burn them all here in the home stretch. And once again, I think we maybe slightly improved our time from the first race, but there we go. Epona's ours, just like that. How did you tame that wild horse right under my nose in like 20 seconds, too? Yeah, I've seen Ganondorf's horses. He's got a pretty cool horse. I'm not sure he would have done much with Epona. We may have saved Epona a trip to the glue factory. All right, so he has trapped us in. There are now 3 ways in which we can escape. South, west, and east. I'm gonna go west. So let's just gun it towards the gate here, and there you go, automatic jump. Awesome. How sweet is that? And there's a different little cutscene, depending on which wall you jump over. Actually, it's a nice little detail. Heck yeah. Just looking around. What's going on? Good girl. All right. So now with Epona under our butts, I guess. Yeah, the grade of which you can like jump over some of these fences is a little funky sometimes. She's much better on flat land, but all right. So now let's go ahead and head back in and see if us winning those back-to-back races has unaccountably changed everything back at Lon Lon Ranch and made Mr. Ingo a much nicer man. We can ride in Epona here. It's just not so much if you're trying to gun it in with the turbo on the carrots there. Alright, follow along as let's go back to Fluff for another Fluff fact about Ocarina of Time.
Now that we've got Epona, I thought I'd share some facts about Link's faithful steed. First, the name Epona itself translates to Great Mare in Gaulish, and Epona is the Celtic goddess of horses. In a way, Epona's origins trace back nearly a decade earlier during development of Super Mario World. Shigeru Miyamoto had envisioned Mario with the ability to ride an animal all the way back to the original Super Mario Bros. In fact, a very early sketch from Miyamoto showing Mario riding on a crude prototype of Yoshi exists from the mid-'80s, but the limitations of the hardware on the NES at the time didn't allow for that. Once development on Super Mario World began in the late 80s, Miyamoto planned to include a horse Mario would finally be able to ride for his 16-bit debut on the Super Nintendo. This idea was switched back to the dinosaur, which would become Yoshi when it was determined that it would fit better with the game's setting of the dinosaur world. But the concept of a horse stuck with Miyamoto. It resurfaced during development on 1996's Nintendo 64 launch title, Super Mario 64, but was ultimately shelved once again and repurposed for Link, finally debuting in a game as Epona here in Ocarina of Time. There were a number of planned features or changes regarding Epona which didn't make it into the final cut of the game. For instance, it was initially planned that Link would have an item called the Reed Whistle, whose express purpose was calling Epona before they switched it to a song on the ocarina in Epona's song. In early versions of the game, Link was able to ride Epona into the market in Hyrule Castletown, but for some reason this was removed. Initially, Link was also designed to whip Epona to get her to go faster, then reward her with a carrot, I guess to balance out the animal cruelty. This was then ultimately changed to Link giving Epona a little smack, but the carrot stamina meter remained. Epona has appeared to varying degrees in a number of subsequent titles in the Legend of Zelda series, including Majora's Mask, The Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, kind of like how Mario used to get a little handsy with Yoshi there. Well, that's well-covered territory. I don't want to open up that can of worms again. Thank you very much, Fluff. Somehow it's always on us to wake up, fake me out Mario. She's doing just fine. Like, she'll come to like maybe 10% of the screens in this game. If you're in Hyrule Field, she'll show up. Come on over here. Let's test out that theory right now, and then we'll finally head over to Kakariko to get one of the greatest items in video game history. Coming over? She really is a spectacular looking horse, I have to say. I like the, she looks great. Sure was. Ooh, obstacle course, alright. Pretty challenging. If you miss jumping a fence in the proper order, you'll fail. Alright. Yes, even though the prize is completely ridiculous, yes. 50 seconds. If you can beat the record, I'll give you a present. Alright, so the only curveball about this course is there's two fences which are back to back, and your instinct might be to use a carrot in between both of them, but for whatever reason it kind of messes up Epona's mechanic or something, and she'll just stop, and you basically won't be able to beat it in time. It's right here, so just use one right before, and there you go. You can use one here. Now let's see if we can make this first lap before 25 seconds. We got one more hurdle here. Alright, not bad considering we had to start from a dead stop. And same idea this time. One carrot right here. There we go. Alright, I think we got it now. It's the worst feeling in the world when Epona gets spooked right in front of some sort of obstacle or hurdle. There we go. 2 seconds to spare. It's not easy. It's got to be pretty flawless, the run, but I'll happily take that. 48 seconds is the new course record. I have to give you a present. It's a little too heavy to give you here, so I'll have it delivered to your house. Bet you can't wait to see it. I'll leave you in suspense as to what that is, but she says it's very heavy. There's nothing further for us to, just some cash here and there, but it is very heavy. I'll second that. I will verify that. It makes you wonder how we got it into our house. And you might be thinking, Link has a house? Yeah, at the very beginning of the game, back in the Kokiri Forest. Even though we've, kind of established that. But anyway, let's go to Kakariko Village, shall we? How heavy is it? I guess Death Mountain only lights up like that at night. Doesn't look too bad during the day. Other thing which annoys me about Epona sometimes is when she gets back on her hind legs and whinnies and everything, and sometimes you just want to get off the back of the horse quite quickly, and, well, there'll be time to complain about Epona. Right now, we still love her. Alright, so, let's see. First things first, let's go back to the graveyard. There's some goodies for us to collect there. So 7 years later, no sign of that kid, no sign of Dampé. Looks like there's a fresh grave here. So our first bean that we planted has grown up for us. I mean, they've all grown at the same rate, but that is heart piece number 19. here in the future in the graveyard by way of the magic bean that we planted right there as a child. I'd like to read this tombstone, but let's just kind of desecrate it and pull it back. And let's jump right in. All right. Wait. Oh. There's Dampé. Oh, he's a ghost. He's dead. It's very roomy down here. Is this just your own? All right. Anyway, let's follow Dampé. And he will throw out little torches, little bits of fire, I guess, on their own. So avoid those. We're gonna have to do this twice, ultimately, similar to our race with Mr. Ingo, but if we complete it this first time, we will get a very important item. This one's not about the time, it's just about keeping up with them. You'll start to hear that, not right now, Navi. Makes a right there, and then we come out into this little rock area. I want to point out that rolling is faster, if I haven't already mentioned that. Rolling is faster than running. Just going to make sure that A, you have a straightaway, and B, he's not about to throw a flame right in your face. So, he's going left here. You don't really need to roll this first time. I definitely recommend it for the second time. Now we got to go the long way around. The time to beat the second time is a minute, actually, so we would have failed that. We're just getting the course under our belts right now. I think you've got about a minute 10 probably to beat him, or to catch up to him this first time. But if you do it, you don't get locked out. His treasure, it's called the Hookshot. Its spring-loaded chain will pull you to any spot where its hook sticks. That does sound cool. It's like the greatest item in video game history. If we want to say Epona's the best horse in video games, Hookshot on the short list of the best item. Blaze knows. What are you trying to say? Leave me alone. Should we believe what Sheik said and go? That's literally why we're here. This is the contents of this chest. Is the skill that Sheik said that we need to have before we can go to the first temple. So I mentioned earlier we have repurposed Blaze from his normal role, but we gotta bring him in for the Hookshot. Blaze, how about it?
Alright, the Hookshot gets my award for greatest item in video game history. Come at me. It instantly turns Link into Batman, lets him shoot across the room, take on enemies, grab items out of reach. Very handy. It's the greatest of all time. There you go, the Hookshot.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to nominate a better candidate for the greatest item in video game history. Class, I'd be curious your thoughts on that discussion, but yeah, leave a comment on that. But that's going to be staying on my left C button for the remainder of this game for the most part. It's the best item. But use that song to get those bricks out of the way. And while we're up here, after we got the Hookshot, there's a heart piece over there, and since it's annoying enough to get through Dampé's place, let's time this jump carefully. I love the Song of Storms. And here we go, from Dampé's tomb to the top of the windmill. Inside the windmill, that is heart piece number 20. Here in Ocarina of Time. So we got 5 fresh hearts from that animation never looked right. And he comes back from Majora's Mask. It's all that Ocarina Kid's fault. Next time he comes around here, I'm gonna mess him up. What? You've got an ocarina? What the heck? It reminds me of that time 7 years ago. Back then a mean kid came here and played a strange song. It messed up this windmill. I love this song. This might be my favorite 3-note track. Great waltz. Bit of a time paradox if you think about it. Alright. Bit of a time paradox that somehow we managed to play, like, we haven't done it yet. We'll do it later, don't get me wrong. And then it speeds everything up once you do it. But there you go, Song of Storms. before you vomit, hop off there. All right, so now if we use the hookshot right here, we can actually grab ourselves heart piece number 21 overall. If I talk to this guy, be very careful we don't fall down here. Look at his crazy neon workout pants. I don't think we talked to him in the past either. There's another paradox right there, but he seems to think we did. Alright, that's heart piece number 21. It's a Bill and Ted thing where it's like, we just gotta remember to rig a trash can above and then fall on this guy's head. Maybe my dad's head, I don't really remember it that clearly. And then, gotta remember to leave the keys for ourselves. Anyway, if Rufus is cool with it, I think Rufus clued him into the idea, actually. So let's head back to Dampé's crypt here. Drop down once again. And this time we're going for a minute. So a lot more rolls this time around. Just be very wary of the flames that Dampé likes to drop. Let's see, it's a little bit of a boost that we're getting. And there's like a brief, just microsecond slowdown at the end of it, but I gotta go right here. The rupees fake me out. I think even with the concussion we just sustained, I think we're looking pretty good. You just have to do responsible rolls here to make sure that you're not about to roll into one of the flames he drops, but we got 15 seconds coming into the main room. 12 seconds. Yeah, we got this. Just don't panic and rush the ascent right there, and there we go. 3 seconds to spare. Pay up, Dampé's ghost. Oh. We're back, young man. Was the present I gave you fun and useful? Yes, I already got a heart piece out of it. Look at this. We got another heart piece. That is number 22 from Dampé here in Ocarina of Time. So we just got a number of heart piece containers in a very small window. I love it. Already on our way to our 6th heart, courtesy of heart containers. But anyway. Alright. So there's a Skulltula we can get. Skulltula. And yeah, if we go up, this is Impa's house here on the left. So ultimately we want to get on the roof there, but if we go... We do gotta make it night, though. This is gonna send me back to the, where I just came from. Yeah, that's true, alright. I always forget that. I forget the difference of, oh, I like the red glow from the mountain up there. Nice. They say red at night, sailor's delight, but I think that's a bad sign. The volcano's about to blow, but... we head up here and hookshot to the Skulltula house. And might need to get a little bit closer to get on top of Impa's house here. Get on the roof. And then go around. There it is. And this is... what Skulltula is this? There we go. That is number 45, Skulltula here. That's a great view. We'll fix that in case you're wondering. That will be dealt with. Alright. So, we can go to the fire. Some people like to do the fire temple earlier. We're going to go in order. We're going to go to the forest temple. So, heading to the Lost Woods. So let's head to the Kokiri village And coming in a little hot there. The Epona doesn't have the best cornering. It's good when you have a nice straightaway to work with like we do right here, but... yeah, I never want that carrot meter to deplete. Takes way too long to get him back, but... let's see how the Kokiri village has changed. All my old friends... heck, I think I'm even excited to see Mito. That's how long it's been. Not gifted. He's not gifted, but... let's go see him nonetheless. Assuming he's on the way. I'm not going to go out of my way to see Mito, or anyone for that matter. And let's make it night so we can get a Skulltula in the village before we head inside, knowing that it's just going to send us back out or to the start again. Guess it took. It's just, it always seems kind of laid out here. All right, well, that didn't really take. Got to wait for the howl. The Wolfo's howl. Alright. So here's our old house. I see no one's been keeping up with the gardening. Weeds are getting a little out of control. I can't even use a Deku stick. You think an adult will be able to swing a stick around? Still have the chalk outline. I'm glad they didn't sell this place when I didn't show back up for 7 years, you know? I guess the real estate market here, and oh my god, this is what I was referring to. So when we won that race with, or at Malin, when we did the hurdles and everything, we got ourselves a cow. I don't know how they got it up here. But it's here. I hope they made Mito help. I know that. But, ooh, but yeah, once again, you can play the Lon Lon Ranch theme. Get yourself some milk if you got an empty jar, which we do happen to have. My refreshing and nutritious milk. A little eye thing that Link did there, looking and it's like, why do I have a cow in my house? Yeah, no, they didn't touch anything in those 7 years. All right, well that's nice. I bet Mito tried, but everyone else is like, you know what, man? He's saving the world. The least we can do is keep his house. I mean, no yard maintenance, mind you, but anyway, see, this is, I guess, the twins' house back here. If you hookshot up on top of the roof here. Thought we could pull ourselves up. Well, in any event, we can certainly reach the gold Skulltula. Here we go. And that is number 46 here in the Kokiri village. Almost halfway to the 100, and our last prize that we can get with these gold Skulltulas back at the house. All right, so now let's head into the Lost Woods. And we can stop off en route and get ourselves a couple gold Skulltulas on our way to the forest temple here. We do have a free roaming cow. I feel like it needs some more real estate, but all right, let's go right, left, right, left, and there's the entrances. There's Mito, not gifted. What are you? I thought you were you wear Kokiri's clothes and you can't. Yeah, why'd the clothes grow with me? Never let anyone go near her. Well, check it out. I'm with Saria. I know the theme tune and everything. I mean, again, it's constantly playing in this forest 24/7. There's no reason to not know it and probably go insane at hearing it, but sure do. It just looks like we're judging Mito, and I love it. I remember him. He still hasn't put together that I'm not a Kokiri, but that's fine. All right, let's go there and then make a left. And then you'll be in this little opening here. And remember when we planted this magic bean 7 years ago? Well, this is how we get up to the little ledge to get Skulltula number 47. Sweet. Alright, so now we're ready to actually head to the your left here, and then I believe it's a right to get to the actual area where... Nope. Alright. I always get turned around when I'm actually coming out of there. Alright, so right, left, right, left, and then be straight across in this case. Left and then a right. Okay, so from there, and we came through here. I think I made the same mistake last time, but so this is en route to the Sacred Forest Meadow. And there, yeah, there's some big boys around here. Big old Moblins. Let's get some tips on how to deal with the Moblins here in the forest with Blaze.
Alright, the Moblins love a big target that go down very easily with a single hookshot blast. Just make sure you otherwise stay out of their line of sight, as they will skewer Link on their massive, mighty spears with one of those charges, but gotta love getting behind them, giving them a hookshot to take them down to the ground very effectively.
I feel like they shouldn't go down with a single shot from the hookshot. They seem like they put up in more time at the gym than that, but can't argue with the results. $5. If they do catch you, they will spear you and send you just like that. Seems like that would do more than half a heart of damage, and you can't hit him in the front. You can only hit him in the back. I don't know why they don't seem to be particularly more armored in the front, but I like their little expressions. Kind of reminds me of Wizpig from, if anyone's familiar with what you can hear that called Skulltula, which we'll get up to in just a second, from Diddy Kong Racing, another fantastic title for the N64, another one of the best sellers as well. So climb up this ladder here, and then over to the left. There it is. Gold Skulltula number 48. Just ahead of the Forest Temple here. Little grunt purr noises, and yeah, just bait him into going left to right here. Just stuns this guy, takes a few whacks, a few jump attacks. Gets 2. $20. It's a good price for such a large foe. But here we are, our first temple. And it's a good one. Starting off with the Forest Temple here. Hey, Sheik. Get used to that. It's like, I'm trying to figure out what that symbol is meant to be. It's like an eye with, like a bleeding eye, or an eye with a giant tongue. Thing that doesn't change with time's the memory of youth. Come back here again, play the Minuet of Forest. Alright, we're starting to get into the more advanced pieces of music here. Up, left, right, right. Another waltz. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ocarina's starting to get pretty full there, Link. I mean, Professor. With 1 S. Sweet. Like, just want to be like, you learned Crazy Train. Something outside of the Ocarina songbook. I actually have, and then to get inside the Forest Temple, I actually have a physical ocarina, which is the same color as the Ocarina of Time, which I was given, and man, you gotta be careful with that thing, because it's ceramic, and it'll break your teeth if you're not careful. All right, so you can see up here we can actually use, in some situations, we can use the Hookshot to climb up and use it as a sort of a shortcut on some things that we could climb. But right here at the start on this wall in the Forest Temple is Gold Skulltula number 49. Pretty awesome. Almost halfway there. And then while we're up here, be careful when you make this jump over here. You can hear some Wolfos down below. Let's get some tips on fighting the Wolfos with Blaze.
Alright, the Wolfos. Strategy very similar to a lot of enemies in this game. You want to bait an attack from them, back up to get out of the way of that, whether you use a backflip or just step back there, and then quickly get a jump attack in to generally take him down with a single hit.
Thank you very much, Blaze. Alright, let's head inside, shall we? Very modest door for the Forest Temple here. You can see the Skulltula not even trying to be sneaky up there. Love the one-shot kill on the Skulltulas with the Hookshot, by the way. Alright, oh good, the elevator is all lit, and we could just... oh. Knew it wouldn't be that easy. There's the 4 Poe Sisters there. All going their own way. Fleetwood Mac style. Alright then. Alright, well, in the first room, we're just going to go straight ahead, straight across. And we have number 50. Skulltula number 50 here in Ocarina, which we can now turn in and grab ourselves the heart piece back at the Skulltula house. And then that's the last one we get for another 50. And the prize for getting 100 is not worth it in the least, but we'll be grabbing them all just the same. All right, Stalfos. All right, let's get some tips on how to deal with Stalfos with Blaze.
All right, the classic Stalfos. I love the combat here in Ocarina of Time. It's so fluid, and it's never better on display than when you're battling with a Stalfo. That said, I have a very effective and cheap strategy. You want to target this enemy, block their attack with your shield, and then immediately follow up with a jump attack of your own to quickly deal some big damage, or even more quickly, take him down with a single hit if you got the Bigaron sword.
Alright, thank you very much, Blaze. Can't wait till we get a sword upgrade. I know we just got a sword upgrade, but killing these guys a little bit more efficiently. Get ourselves a second key, though. And got a fairy right there. Probably prefer the fairy over the milk, but we haven't had to go into our supply too. I think just the one time maybe I had to redeem a fairy from a bottle. Alright, so just hug this wall and take this next door here. Play the song O Time. There it is. It's always a 50-50 if I'm going to remember the Song of Time in the moment. Alright then. So take out these guys ahead of time, make scaling the vines a little bit easier, and well, that's not exactly what I meant to do. Alright. It's weird. They don't really move. It's weird how I managed to target that and still miss. But anyway, yeah, you can probably want to stay to the right side here to avoid that Skulltula's ire. And use that little shortcut once again, but climb up to this little opening. Just shield these guys to get their flame to disappear. The blue bubble, as they're called. You think they'd work in skulls somehow in that name, but here we go. We got our map already here for the first temple. Can't really count those first, Dodongo's Cavern and things like that. Those are kind of mini dungeons compared to these. There we go, dungeon map. And I always get turned around. Which way did I come in? All right. Come out this side, the opposite door, and you'll see a target up here. Handy. lets you know, and then hit that to drain the well there. Hopefully there's no nuclear reactors being cooled by that down there. I'd say Maniac Mansion reference, by the way. And I think I saw a Skulltula up there. So we can start working on the back half already here. There's a chest we can go ahead and grab onto. Might have been as a product of hitting that switch, but right there, it's just there to give us the heart so we can actually get up here and take out this gold Skulltula. That is number 51. And also nice that they go down with one hit. None of this 2 boomerang business that we had to mess with as kids, but jump down here, roll forward. That still feel like that should have hurt, but cut on through here. We have another key waiting for us in this chest down here. Three keys. It's pretty much the max that we'll ever have at one time in this game. Save for the Gerudo Trading Grounds much later, but with those 3 keys, we're going to climb up now. And going to head back to that main room. So cut back through here. And I'm going to take the western door ultimately, so remember where we came in from. So this is just the next door hugging that side, but this is the west side. Difficult to know until you get that compass. Compass is always nice for someone like me who gets turned around in these rooms that look similar with the 2 doors on both sides. Alright, so you can ignore that blue bubble and just climb on up these ladders here. Hug this area, and we got there are arrows painted on the floor. So observant. Better than Cedric, Navi. We're gonna pull this until it just slots in the little... Come around to this side. Push it the rest of the way. Until it just slots in that little gap there. Like so. Then climb this ladder. If you can, I'm having some difficulty. Always call out when we struggle with a ladder, like, what was that game we did a class on where the ladders were? A lot of the trouble that I think it was 8 Eyes, actually. Citrus. Cuttress, whatever that falcon's name was, but come up and push that all the way. We're setting up the puzzle here. Drop back down a floor. And now that this is in the right spot, we can push it the rest of the way here and then go around and push it up and make a little stepping stool for us. Swing around. And this should drop into a little cutaway here. So now we can climb up on top of it. And then push this one all the way. And likewise, this will once again allow us to climb up to the next floor here. Love that sound. Like I mentioned when we were still a child, how I needed that sound in my everyday life when I, just nail that Hot Pocket microwave instructions or something. Just, it comes out perfect. Alright, so we don't need to mess with these guys. You'll see the eye, but we can't do anything about that yet. We need the treasure of this first temple before we can mess with that. This corridor is all twisted again. We need to get you as a color commentator for some sort of sports. What's the official sport of Hyrule? I don't know, but getting Abby a job. Oh, we got our first Wallmasters hanging out. Pretty much 100% of those enemies in this game, you can do a little backflip over the railing there if you want. The enemies in this game, as you'll see the Poe disappear from the portrait there. They can be easily avoided if you just move quickly. You won't even see them if you, Oh, that's a neat trick. I didn't know you could... Alright then. You can just hover like that? an enchanted Stalfos. Oh, good for you, regardless. There we go. Shield and jump attack. Yes. Just I think 3 jump attacks will get it done on its own, but that'll work too. Maybe 2.5 attacks, all total 5 hits with the Master Sword. And now we got to deal with 2. And I believe if we don't kill one of them, the second one, fast enough after we take out the first one will reassemble. Very frustratingly. Especially with this sword, so yeah. Here's your 3 hits, and frame rate takes a hit right there. Yeah, that one's gonna reassemble. I can feel it. This one's not playing ball. This one's not playing along with whatever the official sport we decided on for Hyrule is, so I can make that. Come on, man, don't make me fuss. Alright, well. And just some desperation swings on my part. Everyone can spot a desperation swing when they see one. Might have to pound some of this milk here in a second. That felt pretty good. Come on now. Again, the gentleman's enemy, the Stalfos. Like, you have a clear opening to attack me, other Stalfos, while I'm busy with your buddy. He's like, no, it's not the Stalfos way. Alright. Anyway. 2 Stalfos down, 3 total. 4 if you want to count the one that reanimated itself. Alright, we're doing better now in the hearts department. But I referenced this item just a second ago. Open this chest, and open this chest. And here we are. The bow. The fairy bow. Excuse me. Alright, so that one's going to be getting a lot of use here. Let's go ahead and equip that right now. Take the place of our milk. Hopefully we won't need it. Again, which door did I come in? 50-50 chance, and you know what? That's fine. Alright, so now that we have the bow, we can attack these Poes in their little portraits. The thing is, you can't let them see you while you're trying to do it. So, to hit this one in this painting, we can't go around the corner. It's like a line of sight thing. It's like GoldenEye rules, basically. If you've played that game on the 64, you know. I think that was one of our Briggs notes on that, actually. It's use the sight lines to your advantage. And then once it's just down to the last of the 3 paintings, the Poe will pop out. Alright, the Poe Sisters, the first 3 at least, all the same. Gary, what do you got?
Boss beater. The 3 Poe Sisters, the strategy is very similar every time. You just want to go ahead and target them, keep them at a distance, and if they start spinning, coming at you, you can use your shield to block them, but if you stay farther away, they'll generally just go ahead and warp in so you can actually see them. That's your chance when they're not spinning or invisible. That's when you can actually hit them with the arrow. 5 arrows takes them down, but yeah, just don't get too close, otherwise they get a bit more aggressive, but yeah, not too difficult in the least.
Alright, good call, Gary. Start off with the bow and arrow. I think we'll try the sword next go around. This first one is Joelle. Then Beth, then Amy, then Meg. I know. Trust me. 5 shots from the bow. Confirmed. And for our effort, something cool? A key. There you go. Very cool. Alright, so let's backtrack. And let's go back to that twisty-turny hallway and shoot that eye with our fairy bow, our new prize. And yeah, just cut through fast enough and won't need to worry about the wall master. My favorite piece of exercise equipment in Hyrule. Hyrulean exercise equipment. These guys might mess up our attempts to get a clean shot off on that eye, so we could just, for convenience sake, clear up one side of the room. And then, whoa, mind blown. And now it's all nice and level, even. I think if you had a level, that would confirm it, but... So drop down, and there you go. We would have seen this on the wall before we adjusted the, I think we're being tracked by one of those wall masters right now, so let's be quite quick after we claim this boss key and get out of the way. You can see the shadow forming, but we're fine. Drop down here, and see it takes away their little flame. We were doing that earlier. Makes them susceptible. But this will open that door. And there's a gold Skulltula if you're careful. I mean, it's always here. It's not a conditional gold Skulltula, but there you go. That is number 52 right here. And now let's get some tips on how to deal with the Floormaster with Blaze.
Alright, the Floormaster is a frustrating enemy for a couple reasons. One, when it's green, it's invincible. Just block it, wait for it to turn back to its normal colors, and then give it a smack with your sword. At this point, it'll split into 3 smaller Floormasters, at which point you want to do a normal rotate the stick and attack power swing right there. One of those spin attacks to right in the center of where you defeated that larger version of it, to make sure you go ahead and hit all of the baby ones and take them out in one fell swoop. It's the easiest way to clean up. Otherwise, they'll grow back into larger versions of the Floormaster, and this battle can go on for a very long time.
All right, thank you very much, Blaze. All right, so let's cut through here. This will look familiar. This is the crate room, the box room, if you will. So we've already done the heavy lifting, though. So we have our path all laid out for us. And now we're just going to cut through, retrace our steps to the Joelle room, and we're going to reverse that eye so we can go through normally once again and reach the Joelle room. Take out the next Poe sister. Did not mean to do that. Alright, pop up. Climb up. Pop it, pull it. And we don't have to worry about them this time. And it seems like you can't shoot it. Seems like it's already closed, but this will actually, in this case, it won't always reverse it, but in this case, it's designed so that you can reverse this on demand as necessary. And now just roll through. I like, even though, right, it gets us a little off our track. I was going to say pushing forward, but I like to readjust that camera there to make sure that you don't go ahead and, yeah, you just do a little flip off the railing, save yourself 3 seconds. Again, I think we're going to be right up against that upload limit, so. Alright, so now, finally cutting through. We have not been on this side yet. And on this side, we'll find Beth. It's the exact same strategy as we used to take down Joelle. First, the 3 paintings. Fluff, I understand you have another relevant fact as to what's going on right now.
Here's a fun fact about the Poe sisters. The 4 names of the Poes in Joelle, Beth, Amy, and Meg are all named after the main characters from Louisa May Alcott's 1868 to 1869 coming-of-age novel Little Women. There's actually a couple subtle possible nods to the characters from the novel in the appearances of the Poe sisters. For instance, the initial pair of Poes you fight in quick succession and in the same format are Joelle and Beth, who are named after the 2 sisters in Jo and Beth, who are especially close in the novel. They also save the oldest of the siblings in Meg for last. And in more evidence that Nintendo loves reusing resources for efficiency, just like how Boo's laugh in Super Mario 64 was just Bowser's laugh sped up, the Poe sisters' laugh here in the Forest Temple is just Ganondorf's smug laugh sped up as well.
Oh, there you go. I thought that laugh sounded familiar. Thank you very much, Fluff. Alright, 2 of 4 of the Poe Sisters taken down. And we have a bit of a slide puzzle coming up, but not like that, so I'm safe. But if you need arrows, I give you plenty around here. And this should be the compass, so we'll never get lost again. Alright, so we came through that door, so this time we're going to go up to the top, if you recall. Up. And we use one of our 2 keys here. And, yes, she lets us know every time, which I suppose I appreciate, but it just jump across here, but yeah, it kind of messes up our flow. Just gonna ignore these enemies. Cut out this side, and you can use, to melt the ice on the target here, on the eye I should say, you can use, close enough. They're pretty generous. You can use Din's fire right there, or you can go ahead and just use a makeshift fire arrow. And that's not the platform. Where did we come from? Over there. That's a satisfying shot, though, when you can get that off. Even if they are kind of generous. But so we made this hallway all twisty-turny, but we made this room make a bit more sense. We can drop down in this hole now. Onto the chessboard. Watch out, the ceiling was falling down, or the checkerboard, however you want to. So if you're fast enough, you can make this in a couple moves. Mind the Skulltula, but on this switch here, and then we're gonna go for the chest. You can see the Skulltula there. Mind that. Make a nice little wide. And you can ignore the chest if you're fast enough and just make it straight to the door. So 2 moves. So when you're ready to start this puzzle, just shoot. I guess this would be Amy. And first order of business, just get this blue piece out of the way. It will always start out like this, by the way. If you fail, then they'll give you a new configuration, but we're not going to fail. Get that blue piece out of the way. And then I just like to move everything to this bottom left piece. It's not the most complicated of puzzles here. It's 4 pieces ultimately and 1 decoy. Yeah, this is the kind of slide puzzle I can get behind. And pretty much every block just needs a 3 push on either side to get in position. And there you go, we have reconstructed, or what have you, Amy here, and same strategy otherwise. 2.5 jump attacks, 5 swords, 5 arrows, your call. Helian's choice. Helian's choice. Man, how far do we think Mito would have gotten in this game, had he been the protagonist? Would have tripped 2 steps into the great Deku tree and crapped his pants, and that would have been it. He would have tapped out. Alright, 3 of the 4 Poe Sisters are down. Only one that remains is in the central area where we began. I believe this will put us out right there, actually. There we go. So they saved Meg for last, and they did switch up the tactics a little bit this time for this battle. All right, let's get some tips on dealing with the final Poe sister in Meg with Gary.
Boss beater. All right, for Meg, you gotta pay attention to see which one of the 4 moves, which is the real one, which are the illusions. It's the one that moves first. It's the one you want to face and target, and then fire an arrow at. 5 arrows will take her down, just like her sisters, but yeah, she has a different kind of a strategy going for her here, but not difficult in the least. She does that big move at the start every time she appears, so just be on the lookout for that, and yeah, 5 hits will take her down.
Good call, Gary. Thank you very much. Nice detail. Arrow was still there. I mean, just for a second, but it did go through Meg here. 1 more ought to do it. Not gifted. Never miss an opportunity to remind Mito. One more that he's not gifted. And then this will finally bring back the elevator for us. Now that all torches are lit once again. So now we can ride on down. Yes, it's a torch. Look. Fire. Purple fire, no less. Alright. So down here on the bottom, there is, well, for our purposes, we want to open the boss's door or gain access to the boss's door, but we also want to get one last Skulltula here. Gold Skulltula. I wouldn't care about a regular one, but 3 pushes will get you there, but every time you push it, something will open. So in this case, we have access to this little pressure switch. Did anything else open? So you can see how the room works. Everything else is blocked off. It's kind of cool, actually, the design here. And we're just moving it so this one opening just keeps cycling around, and we have access to a different part of the other room. But yeah, we're always pushing it counterclockwise, I suppose, here. You can hear it. It's behind the wall. We're coming for you, Gold Skulltula. One more push ought to do it. Alright, so we've opened both gates now. I guess the first gate was to open that switch's gate, which it's gonna work. And now we should have access with this third push to the Gold Skulltula. And the other one open area back here is a regular, or a giant. It's large Skulltula there, but there it is. And that is Gold Skulltula number 53. And this can't be anything of value. Nope. I mean, we will need these for the upcoming boss battle, and it's a good one too. One of my favorites. And none of the bosses are especially difficult, but the design is always good, you know? So this side is now open to us. We can hit this final switch, and that will open the door to the boss's room. Not overly complicated, but yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, you might be pushing that thing longer than you hope for. Let's head up here, and there's a art exhibit, little gallery here, and it's just 6 instances of the same picture. Uh-oh. It's like someone didn't pay their $5 entry fee. Oh. And here's security. Oh, Ganondorf. Didn't peg him for the first boss. As an adult. Yeah, that is not Ganondorf. Who is that? Phantom Ganon, evil spirit from beyond. Alright, Gary, you got some tips on dealing with Phantom Ganon?
Boss beater. Alright, this is a fun one. Phantom Ganon here. Note that if you go next to the gate, which just closed, you actually can't get hit by any of Phantom Ganon's attacks, so kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit, but very effective, so that's why I recommend hanging out. At this point, you just want to spin around with that arrow primed and ready to fire. Phantom Ganon will pop out or appear in 2 different paintings. They'll only pop out of one. As he's coming out of the painting, you want to go ahead and give him a shot with that arrow. Repeat this twice, so 3 successful hits will cause the horse to abandon him, at which point he'll float around. Fluff tells me you can use, in addition to just your sword to knock back those shots he sends your way, a bottle. So you might want to give that a try, but yeah, the idea is to volley back as you target Phantom Ganon there. Volley back any of those power shots he sends your way, and then just get into a nice volley. Eventually one of yours will connect with him, at which point you want to move in quickly and give him some stabs, some jump attacks, some spin attacks. Repeat this process. Note that the farther away that Phantom Ganon is when you're doing that volley, when he gets hit, the longer he'll stay stunned, so that gives you some extra time to go ahead and get some extra hits in, take him down faster.
Good call, Gary. Yeah, thank you very much. Playing catch here. Yeah, very reminiscent of Very reminiscent of Link to the Past. That felt good. That was a good little sequence. Yeah, that was never gonna work. Yeah, the farther away you are, the longer he'll stay stunned. So, alright, so I guess that wasn't that far away. This is gonna be far away. It's just a matter of can we volley. Just imagine, like being at Wimbledon, everyone just watching patiently back and forth. That was tasty. Love it from a distance. That was a nice chain right there. That was like 6 hits. Here we go. And while we're watching this, Fluff, I'm told you have a Phantom Ganon fact you want to share with us?
Yep, that's right. So first, obviously the mechanic of reflecting the magical attacks in this and a later boss battle is a callback to Link to the Past when players had to reflect the magical attacks of Aghanim to damage and defeat him. But similar to how players could use the bug catching that in Link to the Past to reflect that boss's magical attacks, here in Ocarina of Time, players can wield an empty bottle to return fire. Many players prefer this method as the sword has a number of unpredictable animations and movements plus a longer wind-up, but the bottle has a wider and regular motion every time, making it easier to reliably time and make contact with those attacks.
There you go. Might have to try that for the final boss battle, or penultimate boss battle, I should say, not to give anything away. Good call. We'll see who the Sage of the Forest is. It was Saria. I could awaken as a sage. Well, yeah, we've met before. I know you look the same. I guess we're the ones that have aged. Because I know you. No, you don't have to explain it to me. Because it is destiny that you and I can't live in the same world. In fact, there's always a little bit... There's something there, right? It's not just me. You picking up on that? She may have had some feelings for Link there. Professor. Like most of the sages, actually. I think like 50% of the sages. But love the coloring, love the just the lighting on these medallions. We got the first one, Forest Medallion. Do we already have the light one, I guess? I don't know, but Saria will always be your friend. Yeah, there's a longing there. There's a bittersweet quality to that, but anyway. All right, Forest Temple knocked out. Looking good. And we said the Deku tree had a bittersweet ending, but its doofy little face, I love it so much. But there's a happy ending for the Deku tree. We have the Deku tree sprout. Should we put some, saw down the original Great Deku tree and maybe put some stump away on it, you know? Just seems like it might inhibit your ability to grow to your full potential. You're not a Kokiri. You're actually a Hylian. I think I buried the lead on that. Or rather, I think I gave that away earlier. That's a very different meaning, but... It's so Sephiroth, right? Can't not see Sephiroth walking through the flames at my beloved Nibelheim. The fires of war. Our only choice was to entrust the child to the Deku tree, guardian spirit of the forest. I don't know, he did a pretty good job raising us. I guess we were kind of lazy at the start of the game. They didn't see fit to give us a fairy until very late, but... There you go. Did we have a green onesie as well? Maybe we're still wearing the green onesie. We've established that the outfit seems to grow with us, so... Pretty crazy. Break the curses on all the temples and return peace to Hyrule. Most kids are like, I don't care about that, I just want to use the hookshot. That was me. Good. Thanks a lot. Alright. You got a Deku Tree Sprout. Alright. Well, at this point, we can probably head back to the Temple of Time and grab ourselves a second tune, which will allow us to transport ourselves back there. The more of these that we can get, the better for getting around this, admittedly not that large map, but still, we'll take the convenience. I like this one screen solely existed for that little exchange we had with Saria much earlier on when we were first leaving. Seems so long ago, doesn't it?
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you.